Hello, everybody, and welcome to Sewickley Stream. My name is Matthew Dobler, and I'm here today in a Zoom room with two of our neighbors. I'm here with Allison Kappas Metz and Cassie Montel, who are two neighbors who have a particular interest in cats. Allison and Cassie, I'd like you to know our internet neighbors.
Hi, everyone.
Hi. All right, so why don't you start off by explaining to us what inspired you and your fellow community members to come together to address this feral and stray cat issue in our neighborhood?
Well, there's quite a problem with it, and it can be nipped. And we want to educate folks and let them know that it's not that difficult to do, and it is a community effort, and it's a pretty easy process. And a lot of people just feed them, which is great, but you have to see it through A to Z. You have to feed them. You have to have them spayed or neutered. It has the rabies shot. They get the ear tip. You release them back to the area where you've located them, where you found them, and you're done. And you can continue being a caretaker if there are people out there that are being a caretaker. We appreciate it. And we actually met a lady that is doing that. And we've been helping her, and she's been great. Yes.
Let's back up maybe. I mean, what exactly do we mean when we talk about a feral cat?
It's a cat that hasn't been socialized, so basically like a wild animal. They're afraid of humans. They live outside, and yeah, they're usually not spayed or neutered, and that causes, the population to explode, really quickly.
And Cassie, you said that there's a particular problem in our neighborhood. We're seeing feral cats around Sewickley. Is that the idea?
Yes, I'm aware of the issue in Edgeworth, and hopefully not as a large issue in Sewickley.
Is there a particular area in Edgeworth that we're seeing these cats?
Yes. By the Edgeworth Club, East Creek, West and Woodland Road, in that area, that part of it, like right up from the Edgeworth Club, basically to Woodland.
And do they seem like they center around any one location, or are they sort of just roaming through the neighborhoods?
I think they're kind of around a few particular homes, one on Creek, one right past the Edgeworth Club, and one up on Woodland.
This is a hard issue, and I know other local governments struggle with this, and the solution that you're proposing is trap, neuter, return, correct?
Correct.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about that, please?
When you find a feral, you go to trap like you would for a wild animal, and bait them with some tuna or some cat food, trap them, and then you'll take them to a low-cost spay or neuter clinic, have them spay or neutered, and when they spay or neuter them, they'll give them the rabies, and then you take them back to the location you found them at and release them, and that way they can, reproduce.
Right. Usually the male you can release sooner. The female we kind of hold in the trap overnight. And that seems we've had success with it, with them not multiplying much after that, but they will. I mean, we just came upon this one in Edgeworth, and it's pretty big. So
yeah. Oh, and they do that ear tip too, which
yes, they get the ear tip. So if you ever see a cat where its left ear is squared off at the top or notched, that means it has been spayed or neutered.
Oh, is that right? I didn't know that. Okay.
Yes. Yeah, they get a left ear tip.
Is that part of the trap, neuter, return program, is that they notch this cat the ear?
And that's like nationwide. That's everywhere. It's even international. So that's the symbol that that this cat has been spayed or neutered. Because people like us, when we're out there and we're doing this, if we get one in a trap and we can see that, we know we could just release it.
Sure. Okay, so you say people like us out there who are doing this. Are you actually out there on the front lines trapping cats?
Yeah.
A little bit, yeah.
Yes, when we become aware of it.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Not all the time.
I was just
okay.
thinking of cats yesterday at a friend's daughter's house because she's having problems. And set up yesterday afternoon, went back and checked last night about 9:30, spoke to her about 6:30 this morning. Normally, I'm not a fan of leaving a trap open overnight because then you get raccoons. And so you try to do it from the morning until the sun goes down and just periodically go back and check. And
then where do you take them when you get them?
Now, like if I drive out to Calcutta, because I know I could go there without the appointment, if I get them, I'll put them in my garage overnight, and then I put them in the car the next morning and I drive to Calcutta.
Tell viewers where Calcutta is. What
It's
are you talking
Calcutta,
about?
Ohio. I believe it's like an East Liverpool address. It's about a 45-50 minute drive. And as long as you're there prior to 9 a.m., you do not need an appointment. And you could take as many as you need to take. And then you have to pick them up, go back and pick them up between like 4:30 and 5. And I'll either hold them in my garage, or depending on where we trap them, like the one person that we got them for, I took them back to her house. And then she just kept them overnight and then just released them the next day. You know, you don't want to give them a little bit of time so they're not jumping around and stuff, if they have any stitches and stuff like that.
Why are you taking them all the way to Ohio?
Because it's the only place you can go without an appointment.
I see. Okay.
Like Animal Friends, Heart, Humane Animal Rescue, and Beaver County Humane Society, and I forget the name of the one out in Allison Park, they all require an appointment. And some places, if you make an appointment, they take the deposit on your credit card. It's just a lot. This is just much easier, you know, and you know, sometimes you get lucky and you can book some appointments, like you're going to get them, but you don't always know that.
Allison, do you have any heartwarming stories about the positive impact your influence have had on both the community or any of the cats?
Yeah, so when I first moved to Swickley about 4 years ago, we had just moved in like a month into living here. There's a feral mom cat with 4 kittens. And I got to know my neighbors a little bit because of it, from just moving here. And we kind of worked together. We got the kittens and the mom, and we found homes for the kittens. And the mom, I had spayed, and I ended up keeping her, which usually don't recommend. Usually it's better to release. I socialized her, but yeah, and I got to meet people that way when I first moved. Yeah, that's how we met.
That's how we met last year.
So, yeah.
Is someone put us together and needed help of relocating a feral, and that is something that can be done. You can relocate a feral cat once you trap it.
You can.
And you just have to have a plan. That's what I've told people, you got to have a plan if you want to relocate. And then if you find a feral that has kittens, and if you're able to get the kittens, you have to get all of them, because you can't leave one behind if you trap the mom, because it'll die. And if you're able to get the kittens young enough, you can socialize them.
They can go to homes.
And they could go to homes. We've had ones on a waiting list that we've gotten into Animal Friends. And we really will only surrender to a no-kill shelter. But I trapped, Allison and I did quite a few last August and September. And I'm saying like 21 cats at a condemned abandoned house out of Ambridge that my friend's daughter's friend told me about. And when I saw the situation, I said, we need to do something. So we did. And I actually have 2 of them. 4 of them went on a farm. They were pretty feral. And we found homes for 5 others, and actually found homes for 2 of the adults too. The adult moms. So it worked out really good. There's still 2 there I'm trying to get. And but that'll bring it up to, she made a list. I think there was like 22 cats we had on there. Yeah.
Okay, so you formed a group. What's the name of your group?
Community Cats 15143.
Community Cats 15143. And you're having an event on Monday evening, correct?
Yes.
Tell me
May
about the event.
May 22nd at 7 o'clock.
Yes. It's mostly going to be an informational event to let people know that there are solutions to this issue. And like I said, it could be nipped so fast if you get all of these, but it's a community effort.
Mhm.
You can't do it all by yourself. That's why I asked Allison to help me with this one in Ambridge. And then I had neighbors there helping me, letting me know. They had my phone number. They let me know when they would see these cats, get them on a routine. That was the one thing, getting these cats on a routine, like a feeding schedule. And that's how you can get them. So this is like what we want to kind of teach folks. And there is a way, but we can't do it all by ourselves. And you know, you ask people for permission, like, can I walk on your property? You know, you want to make sure it's okay with them.
Mhm.
You know, you just don't want to start walking around with a,
Sure.
you know, a trap. So,
Yeah. Yeah, and we'll have a speaker who owns a rescue from in Avalon.
All right. Well, the event is Monday evening at the Edgeworth Club at 7 o'clock p.m., correct?
yes.
All right. And is there anything else? I think you mentioned before we started pressing record, you mentioned that you're in the process of organizing a 501c3. But before that happens, is there anything that neighbors can do if they want to support your work?
Yeah, you can contact us. We can show you how to set up the traps, and help you maybe with the transport, and in our schedule, taking it to a spay and neuter clinic. But we just ask that the residents pay for the spay or neuter. Right now, we don't have the funding for it.
And also another thing to keep in mind is if these folks, because we have some traps amongst ourselves,
Mhm.
but Robinson's has them and you just have to put a deposit and they'll give you your money right back, you know, and Animal Friends has traps that you can rent. I believe the Beaver County Humane Society has traps that you can rent. So there's options out there, you know, for getting traps. I mean, the one lady that we've been helping on Woodland Road, I think she just went and bought some.
Yeah.
Because, and it helps whenever we have that. So if we have to have, the more you have set, the better it is, you know? Yeah.
Now, Allison, you said you're just asking the residents to pay for the costs. What are those costs? Just so people have some idea of what they're getting into.
Yeah, so if we go to the clinic in Ohio, for spay, it's $70, and for a neuter, it's $60, and that includes the rabies. So
We take care of the
Yeah,
driving.
yeah.
We'll put the food in the traps. We'll take care of the legwork. We just ask that you cover the costs of the spay or neuter.
Great.
That's our volunteering.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very nice of you. Well, Allison and Cassie, thank you so much. First of all, thank you so much for joining me here today and for sharing your time and for helping our neighbors get to know you. But even more importantly, thank you so much for the great work that you're doing to make our neighborhood a better place to be.
Well, thanks for having us.
Yeah,
We
thanks for
appreciate
having
it.
us.
Yes.
Have a great day. Thanks very much.
Bye-bye.
Bye.